Good evening, this is the XS Manchester Football Social. It is the Full-Time Devils Takeover. They come into the studio every Thursday from 6 till 7 and we talk all things Manchester United. If you want to get in touch tonight, 0345 111 7625. There's been a sort of blip in the United season. I mean, we were called the 4-0 FC for so long. And now it seems that there is sort of the brigade against Jose Mourinho has come out. They've got something to say, and they've been saying it this week. In all their glory, they've been having a dig there, and a dig there, and a dig here, and a dig here. But that's just the media. That is just the press having their say. And if it's right or wrong, they get to say it. But now you get to say what you want to say. The generic question in today's show is, are you happy as a United fan with how things are going? Are you happy that Jose went to Anfield and got 0-0? Are you happy that we scraped by last night in Benfica? And are we happy to ignore the press that keep giving us it every time there is a sudden blip? And let's not forget, this blip is just a 0-0 draw at home, away against Liverpool. So it's hardly the biggest blip we've seen in United's history. Let's not look at the dark days of Van Gaal and Moyes. And it's time for you to get in touch. It's time for you to talk Manchester United. Are you happy as a United fan? 0345 111 7625. Get in touch. You'll be able to speak to Webby. Darren Webb, good evening, mate. Are you well?
Yeah, very well, Joe. Very well.
Also a guest for the first time on the XS Manchester Football Social, Paul from the Moods. Paul, how are you?
I'm good.
You got to sit forward, Paul. I've got to see you. I've got to see your lovely face.
Thanks for having me, man.
No, you're very welcome, Paul. I'm going to throw that question to you then, generically. For the last couple of days, are you happy as United fans?
Definitely. You know, no one mentioned the fact that Arsenal got beat at Watford.
Yeah.
Chelsea got beat by a team who not scored.
Yeah.
If you ever go to United, you put it in the press, it sells papers, people get a ban. Listen, I said we'd win at Anfield, yeah? They were there for the taking. But you're happy with a point at Anfield. You know, that point could be crucial at the end of the season. It's just the pressing it and Ozzy's winding everyone up. Yeah. I love it, mate. I love it. I absolutely love it. But you're looking at it there and I'm thinking, last night Benfica, all right, they was bottom of the group. Someone says to me, you take a 1-0. When you take it, it's 3 out of 3. Yeah. You win your next game, you're virtually qualified. So all the people who are moaning and anti-United who don't like us, we're back to where we've been hated, and I love it, Joe, I love it.
Well, we'll start with Benfica last night. Paul, I'll speak to you. You sort of... let's talk about the game then. The attacking options were all right. We kind of give it to them a bit, but never sort of got to the free-flowing football we saw in the Prem.
We didn't, but it was easy enough on it, Joe. I mean, it didn't pose a challenge at the end of the day. You do want to see us press a little bit more in them sort of games, but you need the other team to make you have to step it up as well. It was never under enough pressure to get out of second gear, really. And like you say, take them 3 points and keep the 100% record. You bring a good point in, Webby, because what you say is then this eases the pressure of the games that are going to come up, because December's a big month for United, where you Arsenal, City, and there's also a Champions League game in the mix there. If we know we've qualified, we can just sit back a bit. You
look at it now, we should beat them in a return leg at Old Trafford on the 31st. Gets us 12 points, yeah? We go to Bale away, we get the point to get us qualified, and then the Moscow game, the 11 who are going to play against City on the Sunday now, defeat up midweek, you know, so that's what it's all about. Get qualified. I know people want to see, and I kept off Twitter last night because obviously they go to most of the games. Obviously, I've not been to a few Europeans for a few years now. Yeah. But if we're not 4-0 up after 20 minutes, sack him, drop him, sell him, you know what I mean? And it's ridiculous.
Is it sort of patience is lacking, is what you're saying?
Patience is lacking. Last night I put a tweet out, moan, get behind the team. You know, I'm glad some of you don't sit next to me at games because we won't be friends anymore, you know. But that's the way the world's gone, social media. But someone said to me, we've had 3 goals conceded against us this season. We're second in the league. Bite your hands off all day. Yeah, bite your hands off. Will you be like that, Paul? You're happy as United fans? Of course,
like you say, we're still unbeaten. Do you know what I mean? It's been a decent season, decent start, you know, and compared to the last few seasons. We've got to look on the positive side. Like you say, I think the problem is as well, people look back to the Fergie years, and it's almost like rose-tinted spectacles, like we used to go out, smash everyone 4-5-0 every week. How many times we go to Anfield, play bad and nick a 1-0? Yeah. Loads of them times at places like Stamford Bridge. Yeah. So I think people get carried away and think, oh, it was all brilliant under Fergie all the time. You've just got to be realistic.
What do some of these people want? I made the comment to you before, like Newcastle in the 90s, let's play beautiful football, entertain the crowd, get them happy. But what did they win? Newcastle's won a bowl of soup since 1970. you do want to be entertained, but at the end of the day, you want to win pots. That's what it's all about. Yeah. Some games we've looked average this year, some games we've looked great. I am absolutely buzzing with now. You can blame it on the injuries. We've got big players to come back into the team. Looks like Popkin's nearly fit, and Zlatan's not far away, and it's happy days for me. So bring it on, like you said. We've got a big December. We've got Stockport at home on the 10th. I mean, City. Then obviously we've got Chelsea before that, Spurs as well a week on Saturday. Big games coming up, and it's just the right time now for these players to start coming back. And Rojo's not that far away.
No.
Playing at centre half, at left back, I didn't fancy him, but the centre half, it was a right blow when we lost him.
Matic, he's holding it at the minute. I think he's doing a wonderful job. In terms of like Herrera in that position, we all love him as fans because he's got grit, he's got heart, he really loves United. But is he cutting it out at the minute?
No, I want to see him a little bit more forward. Like you say, now Matic is there, he can sit in front of the back four 100%. And lock it out, you know what I mean? So that's where you want you. Even like games last night, Saturday, sorry, where bring Matter in there in the middle if you need to. Just someone who's got that composure on the ball. While Matic is there, it's perfect to let someone like that, or like you say, Herrera push on a little bit and start trying to do things, because Pogba will do that when he's back. Who's going to do it?
I thought the substitution at Anfield was strange to bring Lingard on, and Matter was sat there. It was perfect. Mkhitaryan, I'll keep seeing, he's poor. Someone said Diamini, Kagawa the other night. You know what I mean? But he will come good, all right. He's taking that, but you got to keep him in your team. Jose trusts him, as he did it. He won't pick him. So just get behind him, you know what I mean? He will come good, and hopefully it starts at Huddersfield Saturday.
Because like you say with Matter there, I'm a big fan of Matter, and the one for me, the sub, was later on when Damian was looking like he was flagging for about 20 minutes for me. You've got Youngie on the other wing. Why not pull Young back into left back and let Matter go on and see what he can do?
Yeah, 100%.
That's a perfect opportunity for me to bring him into them games.
I wonder why he didn't do it. 0345 17625. Get your calls in nice and early. We'll try and get you on air and have your say. Right, so we decided on this question. It's a tricky one. And I've even forgot the answer already. The two Manchester United players who have scored hat-tricks against Huddersfield. Yep, that's the question. The two Manchester United players who have scored hat-tricks against Huddersfield. I'll give you a clue.
24
you'll know the names, right? You will know the names, but it's not recent, obviously, because we haven't played them recently. So get your answers into that 87711 on the text 0345 111 7625 if you want to call us. And we are talking about Manchester United. Are you happy as a United fan? Because the reason is we've been digged out so much in the press over the last couple of days. They're just sort of getting on anything and everything they can, and they're having a go at us and they're digging us out. But the most important thing that matters is us as United fans, that we're happy, and we've decided that we're happy. And now I've got a gentleman on the phone, Adam McCullough, Full-Time Devils legend. Adam, hello, mate.
How you doing, lads? You all right?
I'm very well, mate. Are you happy?
I'm good. What's all the fuss about at the moment?
The fuss is just because I think people are getting bored at the fact that they can't have a go at United. It's been the headline for the last 3 years, and well, obviously not last season as much, but now there's a bit of a blip. Is there anything that's worrying you, Adam?
If we go to Huddersfield and play like we did at Anfield, then I'd be worried. But why are we worrying? At this point in the season, we're 3 out of 3 in the Champions League, 9 points out of 9. In the Premier League, we've dropped points at Stoke away and Liverpool away, which traditionally before any season you'd say those are probably going to be 2 of your hardest away games of the season. And everyone's complaining. The football has been good to decent for most of the season. Even when we've won 4-0 at times, the performances haven't been vintage, but we've been scoring goals. And last 2 games, we drew 0-0 at Anfield. We never perform well there. When do we ever perform well at Anfield? Even when we win, I know there's the one where Matt scored the 2, and I think we outplayed them that day. But apart from that, in recent years, we very rarely outclassed them or performed really well there. Now, that's not an excuse for the performance, but the result wasn't bad. It was a 0-0 draw. We just won away in Europe to make it 3 out of 3. And somehow people are complaining. It baffles me, it really does. And it's mostly neutrals. Like, why are neutrals complaining? Why are you so bothered about entertainment? Like, we care about the results. Of course we want to be entertained. But I feel like the neutrals, because they're not getting to see Manchester United lose, they're finding something else to moan about. And it upsets me when United fans jump on that as well.
I'll bring in, maybe not a neutral, maybe he's a person who, United obviously, sort of enemy, if we say. Craig Bellamy. Craig Bellamy come out today, and I'll put his sort of quote to you, and Adam, you just tell me what you think about this. He said that United are in danger of losing their identity. Now, it's only been a draw at Anfield and maybe a scrappy win, but, I mean, there's no fear of that, is there really, Adam?
Do you know when we lost our identity, when we were getting knocked out of the Champions League in the group stages? I was in Germany at Wolfsburg, and we lost that game, and we went out, and people seemed happier then. Like, are you mad? Craig Bellamy played for Liverpool and Manchester City for a starters. Let's get that out of the way. So whatever he says, take that with a pinch of salt. Listen, United make headlines. People want to talk about us, and if they can't be, they're not going to be positive most of the time. Jim White earlier as well. What is he talking about? Like, really, Jim?
What was Jim's comments?
He said he wants to be entertained, and then we had people talking about United don't deserve to win the title and things like.
Yeah, that was going to be my next. That was going to be my next comment to you, Adam. Mickey Quinn, of course, it's Mickey Quinn, says that United don't deserve to win the Premier League with their style. I mean, it's hard, that, isn't it? Because they never really had a go at Ferguson when Ferguson used to get the scrappy results.
You got two people there, one ex-Liverpool, two ex-Liverpool players. They've not won the league since whenever. You know, that Craig Bellamy will cause trouble in an empty house. Absolute mad as a box of frogs. Goes around hitting teammates with golf clubs. So how can he talk about very average player? All he had was pace. What did he win in his career? What did Mickey Quinn win in his career? Both bitter anti-United, so they want to say it to get themselves in the press.
They're digging us out, Adam, aren't they? They're coming for us.
Let them. If they, like the saying goes, it sounds, it's cliche, hate the door, never ignore it. They're going to talk about us. But at the same time, like United itself, when we look at it, let's forget what others are saying. We always know they're going to talk about Manchester United. When we look at it ourselves, defensively, we're very good. I think recently, some performances, Lukaku's been hit and miss, Mkhitaryan hit and miss. So we need these guys to start ticking again. But it all comes down to that midfield area. Paul Pogba, we are missing that boy so much. He brings the ball from midfield, from defence, straight to attack so quickly. And we're missing that link. At Anfield, Mkhitaryan and Lukaku were isolated. And you saw Benfica try and just overload the midfield area and just, overload Matic and Herrera, and it worked at times. And without Pogba in there, we are missing him. And how many teams would miss Paul Pogba? Everyone would miss him. Mm. And not only that, we've then got Fellaini, Carrick out. We've now got Rashford injured. We've got injury problems. So I'm not too concerned. We are unbeaten this season.
Still
unbeaten this season.
Yeah.
Are we unbeaten?
You won't think it if you look on social media.
Are we drawing 0-0 every game?
No, we're not. 4-0.
It's not one of those false unbeaten runs like under he who shall not be named. It's not one of those false runs. It's a very good run. Now, if we go to Huddersfield and they beat us after being on this run of like 5 defeats and losing at Swansea, then you know what? Some of these moans, they make sense after that. But right now, they don't make sense at all. And I'm just happy as a Manchester United fan. I think people forget what's happened over the last 3 years. Yeah,
Adam, thank you very much for your for calling in tonight, giving me time to the Access Manchester. Have a good evening, mate.
See you Saturday, pal.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you very much there. If you want to get in touch, 0345 177 come on air with the Full-Time Devils and have your say about the Huddersfield game. That's the build-up we'll be doing. Right, so I just want to give you a couple of quick plugs. I want to plug the podcast. The podcast will be on about 7:15, 7:20. You can listen to this whole show again if you've missed any of it. You can find that on any sort of podcast hosting sites. Search the Access Manchester Football Social. The video that is being currently made, don't we look good, Darren? We always look good every week, don't we, Webby? Oh, sorry, I've not even said you, Michael. Don't we always look good, Webby?
Every week,
Paul. You're in for a treat tomorrow. The video gets made. It's normally up around midday on Friday, so you can come and see what the studio looks like and watch the show all over again. And then the question that is getting everyone, 87711, if you know the answer. The only United players, there's 2 of them to score hat-tricks against Huddersfield, 87711. Right, so it's time for your favourite show, time of the show, Webby, where we speak to mascots. Now, if you've never heard what we do, we always like to trail ahead to the show trail ahead to the weekend's fixture by speaking to the mascot, who United will be playing on the weekend. Let's just have a recap of last week's one. Tell us then about your sort of career highlight. Do you have a memory of being a mascot where it's just like, oh, that was a great day?
It was when Peter Crouch scored for the first time.
Oh, was it?
When Peter Crouch scored
Yeah.
for the first time against Wigan. He like booted the ball and it went over Mike Pollard's head, and I went, you know what? I'm here to stay.
So that was last week's one. Webby, you were a bit godsmacked by that one, weren't you? It took you back a bit.
Unbelievable. I still can't get me around it now. He should have had 2 pints. I think he'd had 22 pints.
So, like I was saying before the break, Huddersfield have a mascot called Terry the Terrier. Now, he does have a wife called Tilly the Terrier, but we could only speak to Terry. So this is the lovely chat that I gave, I spoke to Terry early on today. We should have on the line Terry the Terrier. Are you there?
Hello there. Hi. Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Terry the Terrier. I mean, obviously the mascot of Huddersfield. You don't sound like you're from round this way, Terry.
No. I came over with the hopes and dreams of playing professional football. So I'm still some way connected to it, but not yet professional football. No.
Oh right. So you're over from is it Ireland you're from, Terry?
Yeah, from Kildare.
Oh, from Kildare, lovely. And you came over with the hopes of being a footballer, and well, I mean, you're close. You're a football mascot.
Well, I'm on the pitch one day after,
yeah. Damn. Okay. Terry, can I ask you about then your debut as a mascot? Were you nervous?
Yeah. To be honest, I was more bothered about the suit falling off me, because you're not got much on under there,
Oh, so are you naked underneath there?
I like to wear my khakis, but it's a bit nervous. I'm thinking if this comes off now, I'm going to give everyone a bit of a big scare.
Do you ever get nervous before you go on? Is the pressure on you, Terry? Because you are the big man. You're the mascot. Everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, I'm the man. I like to be able to think that I'm walking out the tunnel with the boys. So I picture that. Good.
Obviously, as a dog, you don't have any dogs of your own, do they get scared when they see the mascot?
Oh, my dog hates me when I wear that, and he knows I've been wearing it as well when I get home, because he can smell me. He's like, oh, he smells,
Yeah. Right. Well, thank you very much, Terry, for your chat. Obviously, Manchester United against Huddersfield. Are you confident? Are you confident that Huddersfield can win? Or
you know what? I think that Huddersfield this weekend. I think that they're going to pull it out the bag.
You're going to put it out the bag. Terry the Terrier, you are an absolute legend. Thank you very much for giving your time to Access Manchester.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the weekend, Terry.
Okay, you too.
There we go, Terry the Terrier there. Thank you very much, Terry the Terrier. Maybe on their trip to Old Trafford we could speak to Tilly. Webby, you okay?
Yeah. Can't go over his laugh.
His laugh was mad, wasn't it? His laugh was mad.
He's mad.
Oh,
he loves it, doesn't he? You know what I mean? You've got to give it to these lads who, week in, week out, put the suits on, fair play to him, but they're all mad as box of frogs. A lot of them.
All of them are mad. But, I mean, they love the club, and will you be seeing him on the weekend?
Oh, well, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully he's digging an hole, trying to get out of it at half time when we're 5-0 up. But no, fair play to him. They go there in all kinds of weather. They don't get paid great money, but he's living his dream.
Loves it.
Living the dream.
Now, hopefully we'll get... I'll save that story for another episode about the United mascot, because it's a good story, that. Let's trail ahead to the weekend then. A game which United fans will be looking, maybe using the phrase, let's get back to business out there. It's important we get a win, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. Like you say, you'd like to think it'll be relatively comfortable. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, proper confident going into games like that, as we always are. We
got to get goals past him. We got to get Lukaku scoring again, because, I mean, he did miss that chance, Webby, against Liverpool.
Yeah, it wasn't the easiest of chances. It's like what Adam said before. He seems to be isolated last couple of games. We need players in and around him, Matto, even the likes of Lingard, picking up pieces off him. Because there's a few challenges he won, and there was nobody there. Mkhitaryan seemed too deep from him. Obviously he was on about with the likes of Herrera. He should be getting around him, but he's too defensive minded, even though Matic is there to show things up. Obviously, I watch him against Spurs. We get an early goal. Yep. We could get 3 or 4, you know what I mean? They've lost been a hard game, don't get me wrong. It's their cup final. United's in town, biggest club in British, in world football, and in town. We've not played them since 1970, whatever. So they're going to be up for it. So we've got to be tight, compact, let's nick an early goal and then we'll put them to bed.
What happens if Lindelof starts performing really well in the Champions League when Mourinho gives him a go?
Well, you look at it now, Joe, is that obviously Rojo's are back of the cube. Now, how long's Bailey out for, do we know? I'm surprised he went at Anfield, obviously. How long's he out for? Nobody said. Rojo at left back, didn't like him there. Centre half.
Yeah,
it was great all day long. He was great. And I was absolutely just as devastated when he got injured against Celta Vigo than I was for the big man, Ibra. You know what I mean? Because we didn't half miss him. Obviously, does he come back in? Because our problem at the moment, you've not got rocket science, he's left full back. Shaw don't seem to be pulling to the mark, you know. And I don't like seeing Darmian there. Darmian's a right back. Yeah. End of story. I don't like seeing Young there, even though he does okay. He's a winger. You know, so that position is there. Now, Blind, for me, if you look at all these top teams in the Premiership, both full-backs are flying on. Now, our right-back flies on. Our left-back doesn't fly on when it's Blind. And that's no disrespect to him. That's not his game. But to win and be a successful team, your full-backs now have got to be like extra wingers. We've got one on the right in Valencia. We've got nothing on the left, I'm afraid.
That's why it has to be Youngie for me. I'd quite like him there at left back, and like you say, it's his quality with crossing when he gets in them positions when he overlaps. He's got a top delivery, Young, on him, and I think for now, like you say, until maybe we sort out this Shaw thing, whether we get Shaw fit or I don't know what the crack with him.
Or maybe
Shaw at the moment. I think with Mourinho was coming out and publicly criticising Martial, he's took it well and he's done well, but I watched Shaw the other night for the reserves, and there was a point there he was walking back, and I'm thinking, we've paid you're a great player, we've paid this much for you. You had a terrible injury, son. I hold my hands up, but how much do you want to be at Manchester United Football Club?
Van Gaal questioned him about it, and Mourinho, so you've got to think, where's his head at in the situation?
I think, Paul, what they've got to do now is January send him out somewhere on loan. Give him week in, week out football. Not in the reserves, he's no good. That's no disrespect to the reserve comes in. If Jose doesn't fancy him, just send him out. Even send him back to Southampton.
Yeah, maybe get some money from whilst people.
No, I wouldn't sell him, Joe. I'd put him on load for January and see how he for 4 or 5 seasons, for 4 or 5 months, sorry. See how he does go, because he needs that run of game. Those reserves are no good. That's, like I said, that's no respect for the reserves. He needs competition. Maybe drop down to the Championship. Yeah. Let's see what he's made of. Because if on his day, is he a better full-back in the country? Yeah. Before he got injured, he was superb.
One thing you brought up there is when we compete with the big clubs is like people are using them full wing-backs as another attacking option, which is something United are only doing with Valencia. And it's the only place I can really see us really getting maybe an addition in January. That's the only thing I could actually see us wanting in January is someone to play on the other side who can be that attacking option. So I'm going to give you the answer to the question.
Dennis Law.
What?
Dennis Law.
So Dennis Law was one of your answers. Let me give you the question if people have not heard it yet. Can you name the 2 players who've scored hat-tricks against Huddersfield for Manchester United? Dennis Law is one of them. He's your 60s player. Now, for the 40s...
Give us a clue, Joe.
His first name begins with a J.
J.
Is that not much of a clue? I can tell you that no one on the text have got it. They've all got it wrong, so try again next week. Are you going to get it? You going to get it?
No.
Jack. Say Jack.
Jack. Oh. Crompton.
Jack. Oh.
I can see Webby's face. I'm going to give it away in 5 seconds. Jack, summit, beginning with R. Jack, no. 5. What'd you say?
Yeah. No.
What'd you say?
Rowley.
Rowley!
Yes, got it!
Jack Rowley! With no help of mine. How good's that? That was the question of the day. So there you go. Dennis
was at that game.
Rowley. You were at that game. Mate, you were.
Never miss him.
Quick then prediction then. So we're going to get back to winning ways. Webby, how many are we going to put past them?
3-1.
3-1. That's what Webby's saying about the Huddersfield game. Paul?
Back to the 4-0s for me.
Back to the 4-0s. Thank you very much, gents, for being on the show. This has been the Access Manchester Football Social. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Huddersfield. Now, if you've missed any of the show, you've just sort of tuned in, you want to get the podcast, it will be up in about 20 minutes. And then the show being filmed for your pleasure. I don't know what I meant by that. Being filmed and will be put on YouTube tomorrow about 12 o'clock. Go and subscribe to the Full-Time Devils. If you're a United fan and you're not subscribed, why? Find them on YouTube, the Full-Time Devils, and I'll see you next week.